They say the masks speak when no one's watching. But I watched, and it spoke. The jungle hums like a living entity. Fog drifts through the trees like ancient whispers, and somewhere deep within the heart of Kalimantan, the air itself feels alive, as though the forest remembers. This is not just a ritual. It is a conversation between the living and the unseen. A dance between breath and silence. A moment when the mask sees you first. Every brushstroke uncovers a story older than time. This is the tale of the Babukung ritual, where spirits do not simply return. They remember your face. Far within the forested lungs of Kalimantan, where the mist never truly sleeps, lives a people whose bond with the unseen is not forged in myth, but in memory. They are the Dayak Tomun tribe, keepers of the Babukung ritual, a sacred ceremony born of grief, celebration, and transcendence. For the Dayak Tomun, death is not an ending. It is a crossing, a migration from one form of existence into another. And the masks are vessels of that passage. Each mask, known as luha, is carved from the heart of sacred wood. Its form depends on the spirit it represents. The lines on its face, not art, but ancestral maps. Every curve, a memory. Every crack, a doorway. The Babukung ceremony begins not with music, but with silence, the kind of silence that listens back. The villagers gather, their faces painted in ash and earth. At the center lies the departed, wrapped in cloth woven from the hands of their kin. And then, from the shadows, they come. Men and women adorned in feathers and bark fiber, their faces hidden behind expressions carved from both beauty and terror. Each mask dances differently, for each represents a different spirit, a different emotion, a different memory of the dead. The masks do not mimic the living. They embody the spirit itself. And once worn, the dancer is no longer a person. They are possessed by the story of that mask. Some say the Babukung is a farewell to the dead. Others say it is a reminder that we are all wearing masks that whisper when the night is still. But among the elders, there is a darker tale. A legend not spoken in daylight. It is said that one mask, the oldest of them all, was not carved by human hands. They call it the luha of the whispering spirit, a mask that cannot die, for it was born not of wood, but of listening. When a carver dreams of this mask, he wakes to find his tools missing, and his hands covered in red dust. Days later, the mask appears in his home, unfinished, yet alive. Its eyes always wet, its lips curved as if about to speak. No one carves it. No one owns it. Yet, it appears whenever the boundary between this world and the next grows thin. It is said the mask chooses who it sees first. And once it does, the watcher becomes the watched. His name was never written. Only his journal was found, damp, stained with river mud, and filled with sketches of faces that did not belong to him. He came to Kalimantan seeking stories, the kind told in whispers and forgotten grapes. He had heard of the Babukung ritual and wanted to capture its beauty, to film the masks that the world had almost forgotten. The villagers welcomed him cautiously, for strangers are both curiosity and omen here. They offered rice wine, smiled politely, but avoided his eyes when he asked about the masks. One evening, the wind carried a sound unlike any other, a low wooden hum, rhythmic yet hollow. He followed it through the fog, past the bamboo groves and hanging charms, until he reached the longhouse, silent, except for the steady beat of a drum. He lifted his camera, and that was when he felt it, that uncanny sensation that someone was looking back. Through the lens, the mask in the center, a dark one, its lips slightly parted, appeared to shift. Not by light or shadow, but by intention. The traveler blinked. The mask was still. He thought he imagined it. Until the drumbeat stopped. And in that silence, he heard breathing. Not his own. Some say spirits speak through dreams. But sometimes, they prefer to see if you are listening. He reached out, his hand trembling in the cold air. And before he could touch it, the mask exhaled. A warm breath brushed his skin, carrying with it a faint scent of earth and incense. Then, a whisper, too faint to understand, too clear to forget. He stumbled back, but every mask on the wall seemed to turn, not fully, but enough that the hollow eyes now followed his every move. He fled into the night, heart pounding like the drums he'd heard earlier. But when he looked over his shoulder, the darkness behind him wasn't empty. Something moved, not walking, but watching. He didn't remember picking it up. He only remembered the voice. You came to watch. Now, we will. In the jungles of Kalimantan, curiosity is not a sin, but it does have a price. For every watcher must one day be seen. The night did not end. It folded around him, as if time itself had stopped breathing. The traveler awoke beside the river. The morning fog hung thick as silk, and his camera, the one he carried everywhere, was gone. Only the mask remained. At first, he thought it was a dream. But dreams don't leave fingerprints. And this one bore his own. When he looked closer, he saw something new. The mask's hollow eyes had changed. They were no longer hollow. They seemed to curve inward, reflecting not the forest, but his own face. It is said the Babukung masks do not merely cover faces. They remember them. As he walked, he found carvings etched into the trees, faces, hundreds of them, their eyes wide, their mouths frozen mid-whisper. Some were carved deep, others shallow, fading as if forgotten by time. And yet, when he turned away, they seemed to breathe. He remembered what the elder had said the night before the ritual: never look into the mask's eyes before it looks into yours. For once it knows you, it never forgets. But he had already looked. He carried the mask back to his camp, determined to understand what he had seen. Each night, he recorded his thoughts in his journal. Each morning, the words were different. Letters rearranged themselves, sentences twisted, until the pages seemed to speak back. The mask is not wood. It listens. It hums when I sleep. I think, it dreams through me. Days passed, and then, the visions began. He saw faces in the river, the deceased from the village, their eyes wide and shimmering beneath the surface. He saw the dancers, the masked ones, circling him, their movements not choreographed, but alive. And he heard the whispers again. Only this time, he understood. We do not haunt the living. We borrow them. The traveler realized the ritual was not a performance of mourning. It was an exchange. The living wear the masks to honor the dead. But sometimes, the dead wear them to feel alive again. And when one looks too closely, when one tries to see the face beneath, the spirit inside must find a new host. He had not filmed the ritual. He had become part of it. That night, villagers followed the riverbank, guided by the sound of a drum, a single, unbroken rhythm. They found his campsite empty. Only his camera remained, its lens cracked, recording the darkness. And beside it, the mask, still breathing. In the footage recovered from his camera, the final frame shows what no one can explain. A reflection, not of him, but of someone else, watching from behind the mask. The Babukung ritual is still performed today, peacefully, beautifully, to honor ancestors. But among the Tomun elders, some say the forest still remembers that foreign face. That sometimes, when the wind moves through the trees, you can hear a voice whispering through the leaves, "You came to watch. Now we will." Every ritual tells a story. Every mask hides a secret. But the Babukung reminds us of something deeper, that memory is not bound to flesh, and the unseen are never truly gone. Some masks are worn, others wear you. And if you ever find yourself in the midst of Kalimantan, and you hear the forest whisper your name, do not answer. Just listen, because it might not be you it's calling to, but the face behind yours. You've just witnessed the story of the Whispering Masks of Kalimantan, a ritual that blurs the line between life and afterlife, seen through the eyes of the Dayak Tomun tribe, keepers of one of the world's oldest spiritual traditions. The Babukung ritual of Kalimantan is not just folklore, it's a living heartbeat of Borneo's soul, a sacred bridge between ancestors and descendants, and a mystery that continues to breathe through time. If you felt the whispers of this story, let them travel further. Hasiya Chand, like, share, and subscribe for more rituals drawn from the shadows, where every episode resurrects the world's darkest traditions one brushstroke at a time. Until next time, keep watching, but remember, some stories watch back.